shot shows have you been to, Eric?
I think this is number 6 for me.
6? What's the one place what's the one thing you have to do every time you come to Vegas?
Oh, man. I've got to try a new restaurant every time I come
Really?
here. Yes.
Okay.
So
now,
I don't gamble. I don't go to the clubs.
Yeah,
I've got to work, so drinking heavily is kind of out. Maybe after my first shot show, I learned the hard way.
Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people, first shot show, second shot show, they don't learn their lesson. I think I'm 17 shot shows. That's ridiculous.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know why they keep me around for all these.
They keep asking you back.
I just keep coming up.
And I grew up with the old Remington days.
Yeah.
So I retired from the military, got hired on by Remington a few months later, went to SHOT Show 2 months after I started.
No way.
I was completely green, had no idea. I was just the new guy.
Yep. And you hit it hard, didn't you? You hit it hard.
It was an experience. I think you learn life lessons as you go.
You absolutely do. Welcome in. Gun Talk Live brought to you by Palmetto State Armory. We're with Meprolight. And Eric, right before this, we got up on stage, right before you came over, you said something that I think is absolutely outlandish. You said, how many products did you come up with in 13 months?
So the pistol optics, so 6 of them in about 13 months from conception, ideas, getting samples, and launching.
That's okay. So that's everything. Like thinking what you want it to do to being a finished product.
Correct. So that takes a ton of work from both myself and the product manager to do the market research, see where our products can fit in, where's gaps in our line.
Yep.
Whether for good or bad in the Meprolight line, especially in the U.S. for pistol optics, it was a huge hole for us. So, but again, can we come out with thoughtful products that fit our DNA, which is hard use military style products that the everyday professional can use, but yet give the commercial purchaser something in the price points that they could achieve.
Right. Because so many times new optics come out, and the first thing people most times do is they go, well, how much is it going to set me back? And then you go, well, that's not bad. Like, I can actually do that. And if you look at these pistol optics, they are small. They are small, and I know Benjamin's going to get up in here and give you guys a first-hand look at these. But start walking us through what we've got on the table and what you're most excited about for Meprolight this year.
Yeah, so what we have on the table is just our slim-lined pistol red dots. So what you see here, there is a bigger brother or a full-size pistol option. So it starts, and if you want to look at it from a gauge, from a buyer's perspective, you have your good, better, best.
Okay.
For us, it starts with the MPO DS. So even our family, MPO stands for Mepro Pistol Optic.
Okay.
And then you'll see some even products that we won't cover here, but we will come out with either later this year or at SHOT Show next year. The family names are going to follow. So instead of coming out with some whiz-bang names, we wanted something that...
That's always the worst thing is coming up with names for products. Like, I would think that was awful.
It's not easy. Because, if you go with the number, then what do you do? And you come out with something better, but you're out of numbers, or you cut it off. So for us, it starts with the MPO. So these are all MPOs. The DS. So DS, anytime you see an S, it's going to be a slim model. If you see an F, then that's a full size.
See, it makes it easy.
All of our footprints across the S are the same. It's all the RMSC. That seems to be the industry standard for slimline pistols. And we can talk about the Fs here in a minute.
We'll talk about the S, but what I want to really suggest is there any way to get all the optics companies together and agree on one footprint?
I think it's hard when you have mill agencies trying to fight over that as well. Yeah. So I'll be pretty candid on our full size. So the slimline guns are all RMSCs. We don't really see anything else. I think they figure that out, hey, I don't want to do it. And they're typical M4 screws because optics are one thing. We start talking about how to package screws and what guns they fit to. I spent about 4 hours cutting screws just for all the guns for SHOT Show. So,
really?
Oh, yeah. But on the F side, our original plans were Delta Point Pro. We were back to the M-Lock/key mod thing we went through years ago, and then SOCOM decided to go with M-Lock. Key mod is still around, but obviously not nearly as prevalent. So the same thing is going on right now in the mill circles with Delta Point Pro versus RMR. So at first we were going to go Delta Point Pro. We changed, I think 3 months in, we decided to go RMR.
Let's just shift it over here.
So it really came down to conversations that we had with our connections on the military, what other companies were doing, and that's just kind of where we lined out. So we won't do a Delta Point Pro footprint extension. We will stay with RMR going forward to simplify the entire process.
Good. It looks like you got optics cut right back here, like your sight, your rear sight, if you need to. Yeah.
So for the show guns, we also do Tritium. It's what we've kind of born and bred on.
Yep.
Battery-free optics and Tritium. So our company was founded on Tritium.
Yep.
So it's kind of how Meprolight was founded in general. The Israeli Defense Force needed a way to do air-to-air refueling. So before computer systems, we used Meprolight designed Tritium to go in nose cones, so inside the catch basket, so the oncoming refueling aircraft could see the Tritium at night and connect into the refueler.
No kidding.
So that was one of the first projects. Second project that was massive for us in Israel was in tanks. Everything in a tank wants to kill you. A tank loader in the magazine cannot see the bottom because it's completely dark. So we did Tritium in the bottom of tank magazine stores to allow the gunner to know that they're out of ammo. So and then from there it went on to the M22 or the M21. 2002 to 2003, and that's how we've gone. So
no kidding.
I say all that to
see, the more you know. If you tune in, you're going to learn something today.
So for the show guns, we have an entire setup of all of our Tritium options that we have. Hyper bright shootout, adjustables, FT bullseyes. But for the pistol optics, since they're so new, we wanted to strip everything down and just showcase this. So on your standard Glock slim frames with the DS, standard height sights, co-witness with no problems. So
I love that.
It's super clean, but that's why we took all the sights off the these Glocks here for the show across the board.
Which is, I mean, that's because the guys are going to do this. That's not the way I would operate. But if you want to just really showcase what you're about, this is absolutely a great way to do it. What about, I know we talk about battery life because that's what everybody wants to know, but we have our thoughts on that.
We do. I could tell you what we have tested. We're about 20,000 rounds. However, every person I can educate on, I much prefer to go with the battery management plan.
Yes.
So if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
That's right.
Nowadays, people are getting their batteries off Amazon. You don't know what type of battery you're getting. Some people are using, especially on the optic side, whether alkalines or lithiums or whatever the case may be, the range is just too great. So,
well, and you don't know how it's stored. You don't know if they're keeping it on the lowest brightness setting or the brightest, and you just don't know.
And we test ours at there's 10 brightness settings across the board on all 6. We do test at level 5 or setting 5 because it's the middle. But you'll see some companies, and it's to each their own, right? It's depending on how you want to deliver the information. Some will say, hey, we've got 55,000 hours, but on setting 2. Well, no one's ever going to see setting 2 unless you're shooting through nods. So, and I don't know too many people doing nod shooting with pistol outside of specific environments. So I am a huge fan. If you want to change your batteries on January 1st and July 1st, if it's your birthday, it doesn't matter to me.
That's what I do.
Pick a date and just go with it.
Yeah, like you're home for a New Year's Day, just change all batteries out. Like it's just easier to do rather than worry about how many hours am I going to get out of this optic? Because Chris Serino, he's notorious for not liking red dots. And he says it's because of the battery life. Well, if you always maintain that battery, and you have a good battery management plan, it's gonna be fine. So what else have we got?
So I guess we'll just go over these 3 pretty quick. So at the entry level is our DS. This one is an automatic brightness setting. There is no manual version of this. MSRP. People are going to quote me. I may not know exact. I'm pretty sure it's at 169.
We like the ballpark around here.
Yeah. So I'm not the sales guy. And we can get accurate pricing, but 169 is what the MSRP of that optic is.
That's a really good entry for a light this small. It's really good entry.
I am a huge fan of the DS. It has a 3.5 MOA dot. It's just simple.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes keep it simple, stupid is the best way to go with things.
That's like the third time I've heard that today, that keep it simple, stupid. And that's exactly what I just want it to work.
Just want it to work.
That's it. I want it to work. I want it to hold true. And then you were testing out these already because the testing process is pretty intense.
So Israel's culture, the way we are brought up, our sister company, Meprolight headquarters in Israel, is obviously in a war right now in the Gaza Strip. So some of these products that are on the table are already released because we had them on the shelves and they needed them. All of the optics, the M22s, True Visions, optics that are made in Israel, they're not sampled by the pallet. Every single optic is checked twice for zero. So we have a zero machine, then it goes and gets recoil tested, back on the zero machine to ensure it holds zero. So we take testing pretty seriously. Because of the war in Israel going on, they call pre and post over there. It's kind of like our R&D test technicians that we'd have here in the U.S. manufacturing. They could not do it because everybody is literally down in the Gaza Strip. So we're texting guys every day. They're sending us videos and all types of things. So they asked if we do the testing here in the U.S. So we had 2 guys fly down. The 6 optics, we tested 30,000 rounds.
Jeez.
Our Pro F, which is our enclosed full size, we took to 5,000. As soon as we can get some clear weather and less ice down there, we're going to be pushing that optic to 20,000. Cross bolt didn't come loose. Mounting bolts or screws didn't come loose. Held zero. We're checking zero every 250 to 500 rounds.
Jeez.
Across every platform. So
that's a lot.
It might seem like a lot. Our Pro S, Pro F, definitely your military law enforcement type. You don't want an open emitter because you need, you don't want blood, sand. Food, sweat, all types of stuff to get on those. So
pocket lint.
I've got a good story about that on a media event. So a guy took out his Glock. I brought some tritium night sights for him. And I was like, hey, man, give me your Glock. I'll go install your sights. I couldn't even get it apart. Completely linted up. And I was like,
are you serious?
Man, I'm not going to name any names, but...
You can tell me after, right?
I was like...
take your carry gun out and
we need some maintenance.
Yeah.
So, the Pro F that we did 5,000 rounds through one gun. We shot it on a Masada. The whole front, just because of all the grime and everything, and gas, copper, or lead coming up, it's completely glazed over. And I've got pictures on my phone. You can see the dot clear as day.
No kidding.
It's super good.
That's important, especially if you're taking one of these out and you're running a class with it. Man, you've got to have a crisp picture. You got to have a crisp dot throughout the entire class or training session that you're going to do, and that's what we're getting with these.
Absolutely. So from here, we can kind of talk about the MPO S/F and the Pro S or Pro F, depending if it's slim or full.
Right.
These two are the same, aside from one being open, one being closed. So what you get with these is you get automatic brightness settings and manual.
Okay.
So shooter dependent, whatever your preference is. You have 3-segment reticles. So the user gets to set what you're seeing. If you prefer a bullseye, it's a 3 MOA dot with a 33 MOA ring around it.
Okay.
If you press the down button for about 5 seconds, you'll see the reticle switch. You can move to just a dot or just the outer ring, kind of like a combat sight, if you so choose. So a lot of features packed into here. In our booth, we actually have the full-size ones. I'm running one on an MP5 on a riser mount. We got them on an AK pistol, on a IWI micro Uzi. And then conversely, on the other side, we got one on a PCC, a Ruger PCC. We have another AK that actually has a stock, and then lastly, as a backup iron sight to a DMR. So running a 3-18, and then have the Pro F on top as your close-in backup sight. So
and then, man, moving back here, you guys got a lot. Magnifiers, M22.
Yes, M22, we're calling it a Legend Reborn, right? So the M21's been around in service since 2002, 2003. Tens of thousands of units throughout the world and military units. Hey, things just get old and technology improves.
Yeah, technology improves, design improves. Man, is that a little fiber optic in there?
Yeah, so
love it.
Completely battery-free design. Uses tritium and fiber optics. We redesigned the entire mount, so now it takes up a ton less rail space. The whole overall optic is just much smaller. So in the first M21s, we can only do amber. We're kind of limited on the technology.
Yeah.
It took almost 2 years, and we're at red. So we were able to finally get red to work. Stay tuned in the future, maybe next year, to be some other colors. But it's fantastic. So that's available in a triangle or a bullseye. So some people prefer triangle. It's definitely we used to have 8 different reticles for M21s.
Yeah.
Went back, did some research. The bullseye and the triangle is what
that's
sells.
What people
so that's
like.
what we're doing.
Yep.
We call our triangle a 10 MOA.
Okay.
Some people ask, hey, MOA is a circle. How did you make a circle in a triangle? And other companies have triangles, and they measure them different ways. Some call it a 0.3. And we kind of sat down and we're like, how do you communicate this?
How do you explain this?
So we simply, keeping it simple, drew a big circle in the middle.
Yeah.
Whatever touched all 3 sides perfectly, it was 10 MOA.
Yeah.
So that's what we're calling it.
Duh. It's that easy. Come on. And then magnifiers, 3X and a 4X?
Correct.
All right.
So magnifiers, to be quite honest, we weren't happy with the first round that we got last year. So we pretty much started over. Meprolight has been kind of known for a pullback version and a push button version.
Right.
Coming from the shooting side and military background and being left-handed, I want something that just works. Well,
just wrong-handed.
10%, right? 10% of the population. So this one is fully ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Kind of uses, I'm not going to call it industry standard, but it is becoming the industry standard, but 2-bolt design.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a lefty or you're a righty and just prefer it to flip one way or the other, everyone has preferences, you can
do that.
Yep, flip it. So it comes with a black armor cover is what we call it. Mm-hmm. Inside the box comes a flat dark earth one as well if you want to match it.
So you don't have to go and spray paint it and all that good stuff?
No, absolutely not.
See, why did people need to get on board with that? Like, give them an option.
So we looked at it. We looked at selling them separately and whatever, the 8 cents or whatever it costs to manufacture, just give it to the person as a value add.
Yeah.
And then also inside the box comes a, they'll come for 150 height, which is what this M22 is.
Yep.
We also sell True Vision, which is a 193 height.
Okay.
So inside the Magnifier box comes a 193 riser with the 2 extra screws as well.
So you get that with the optic?
Correct. Yep, it's just in there. So we sell both height optics. There's no sense to make somebody buy an adapter plate.
No.
And we could just provide it for them.
Doing stuff easy, right? That's how Meprolight's starting to do it. I like it.
And then price point wise, the MMX3 is $299.
Really?
And then the X4 is $349.
Okay.
The M22's $449.
Okay. That's an easy setup to do. Be able to have a magnifier on it and something that'll work without batteries.
Yeah, if you just need to pull it out of a trunk, a closet, something,
it'll run.
We did launch, we'll have a brand new website going live in February. With that comes, so in the past, everyone has a limited lifetime or a lifetime warranty. We've always serviced our customers, no matter if it was in or out of warranty. But we're not doing, so we're not, in that aspect, we're not doing business any different.
Right.
We do now have MeproGuard, which is a lifetime warranty across our products.
Awesome.
So once the website's launched, anybody buying these new products will go on to register. And one of the cool things about it is it doesn't matter if you bought it and then sold it to me through Arms List. It's completely transferable.
It's all transferable.
It's all transferable.
So nice.
So now if you go out there and run it over, I had a guy slammed his True Vision 14 times off a cinder block and then sent me the video and then wanted a new one.
And you said, well, no.
That one's not going to happen.
Stupidity is not covered. Stupidity is not covered.
However, the True Vision, the entire upper end was smashed.
Really?
And the reticle still worked. So I'm probably going to send him a new one so I get the old one back because I just want it.
Can I have that one?
I just want
to show? Yeah, that's the way to do it. All right. Anything else?
No, just keep an eye out. Pistol Red Dots, they should be shipping the first week of March.
Oh,
so
quick.
They are live on our website. And we're not showing them now and then not delivering until September, October.
Yeah.
Magnifiers, M22s, True Visions completely in stock. We just got a new shipment from Israel last week.
Perfect.
So they're all ready to go. And like I said, these MPOs will be ready to go the first week of March.
Sweet. All right. Go learn more. Hey, new website is coming from Meprolight. Eric, thanks for joining us, man. You guys are going to want to check this stuff out. The slim lines, I'm not going to lie, the Pro Probably my favorite. I love to close the emitter. But Eric, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Gun Talk. Really appreciate hanging out with you guys, and have a great show.
All right. Hey, we're going to be back. Hey, I'll just tell you right now, we've got a guy coming up next. He's about this tall. If you guys know us, you know who it is, and he's got something really exciting to show.
Must be that Caldwell guy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching Gun Talk Live. For more great gun content, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. You can always watch the Gun Talk channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon. And of course, you can always find us at guntalk.com. Thanks for watching.